You ever had a game you spent so many hours in you didn't expect to sink in so much? You ever spent a few doubloons just out of enjoyment? No, not the gotcha games. Once human is what I like to talk about. This has brought me so many regrets, but they led me to the best people I ever met. But what got me into it? It goes back all to an unrelated Minecraft Discord server. Me and this other friend were playing. And while she wasn't playing in Minecraft, I got a screensaver session of her gameplay. At first, yeah, looks cool. I'm seeing some weird nutcrackers, a weird wolf thingy, and there's just a bunch going on. This was a little before March. I decided to give it a shot only by early of that month. If I tried it solo, I probably would have given it a bit of a grind of a month before dropping it. But my friend had invited me. I jumped in specifically to the server she was in, and with a little bit of a hive, I got a little help. We did some monoliths, silos, and such. I learned the bare bones of the game. I got some help, but I got to experience things on my own too. I even made a few friends outside of the hive, funny enough. And after a month, I managed to get my critical pulse, this fancy crossbow here, to 5 stars. And, I loved running the Theta silo. And no, it wasn't because it was the only silo I knew of. No, 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 where'd you get that idea? And I also enjoyed, for some reason, running through Blackfell. Why? I don't know. Nice place. I didn't really run the build. My secondary was just the Boom Boom, this large machine gun that I only used to heal myself because I used a specific mod to gain health. I won't divulge too much into the time playing in early on because there is just too much footage I never made. I would have to recreate it. So sad! So where did it all go wrong? This friend would eventually dip out of the game. They would move on to this other game, I think Valheim. Her mate also was inactive for a while. The rest of the hive hadn't really even bothered to jump on in days or weeks. And there wasn't even that many people, so I was just solo at this point. And let me tell you, playing this game solo is not it's not fun sometimes. And Americans. Oh my god, I hate Americans. They're not the most nicest or responsive people. It kind of seemed like a bitter end. I would spam Theta, but it just wasn't always that fun. And soloing the mana bus in 10 minutes was. I mean, you get your first dopamine for the first few times, but afterwards, you, you, you can only go move on so much, right? Was this meant to be? Was this game meant to die for me? No. Why? Why? There's so much more. I have so many questions. How can I increase my blueprints efficiently? How can I optimize my DPS? Why did Mary betray us? Well, for some godforsaken reason, I ranted onto Reddit, made a post looking for help, but I already felt my drive leaving this game. Maybe I wanted some motivation, a new goal to reach, a reason to look forward and keep trying. I am a retired Minecraft builder, and for reasons I won't get into, I really haven't gotten back into it for much as I tried. So, other games seem to fill in the void. So I opted for maximizing my damage with the critical pulse. And well, I got an invite from a person I won't be discussing, but she invited me to a hive. Being in this hive was one of the best things that's ever happened. I had no idea an individual was about to dock me into so much chaos, fun, a very interesting community. And, you know, wait, why is it so dark in here? So after some chatter about Wishbox gambling and banners, the Hive thing came out. I was offered a potential chance to join these freaks, but there was an issue. They are on a Southeast Asia server, while I was based in North America. For most games, this would just mean at most you would just have a bit ping, get some lag jokes, but this is once human. The issue is a little different. Let me explain. If you're not aware of how this game functions, you start with a character selection screen, character creation screen. Oh my god. Based on the region you're located in. you'll start to notice, and then you'll be able to jump into different servers of your choosing. There's all these different scenarios, different challenges, which with their own story, aspects that differ from one another. Some materials don't carry over, like your energy links, basic, basic, basic currencies, and scenario-specific stuff. Stuff like your blueprint levels to your star chrome, and that progression, that does carry over wherever you go. But you gotta remember, when you're starting a new server, you have to start grinding for materials again and again. And while you can inherit things, there's a whole, a limit of how much you can inherit. This becomes irrelevant when you realize that I am in North America and they are based in Southeast Asia. Why is this an issue? Your character is locked into the region it's created in. So my character that was made in North America could not jump into Southeast Asia. All those weapon upgrades that I grinded for, those deviations I grew fond of, these special cosmetics I got from the Battle Pass because, I was like, why not? None of that carries. Nothing. Nada. If I jumped, I would have to do it all from scratch. And maybe an extra 15 bucks for the Battle Pass. I would only have the knowledge and loss of time to look forward to. Luckily, they offer to carry me. I don't exactly have too much footage of this. I wasn't really recording things. I'm writing the script for when I was supposed to reach 500 hours, and I kind of did. But by the time I finished this video, oh my god, is that 1,000 hours? We're not going to talk about the rewrites that I did with this. Jumping into Sia, I stuck with the usual Critical Pulse, which I actually renamed to Critical Crusader. And I didn't really exactly have a build. And long story short, I stuck with Treacherous 4-piece for the longest time because I get a little shield, and my health would never go under 40% due to insanity. Because goddamn, did I find ways to break this game. So how do I go from this to this? Well, the answer is a long journey of trial and error, superficial investigation, help from my newfound friends, and just winging it. There was a lot of different things that went into me choosing the last Valor. Now, you might be wondering, what made you choose it specifically? I don't know, I just saw shrapnel and I want it. I saw it, I wanted it. After looking around a bit, I was told to pair it with the Bingo, a sniper. Oh, lucky me, do I love sniping. What? Bullseye, put simply, is a debuff applied to enemies, making them more vulnerable to damage. Well, isn't this the perfect combo? Snipe, then rain bullets. Profit. I'm testing this around the time I was dragged into something that wasn't beginner friendly. Way of Winter. So, I had first played like, normal before I got dragged into Sia, and then I was dragged into what you call a visionary scenario. Basically, they have some added difficulty depending on what the current vision is. At the time, it was the first of its kind, Lunar. Lunar is basically an event where, at that time, for 15 minutes out of an hour, you go insane. You cannot regain sanity, so your health is capped at 20%. You need to be careful when you're mine gathering or whatnot, because sometimes a raid will trigger. These monsters will summon themselves from the ground, and you need to kill them. Oh yeah, isn't that fun? Now, I was fond of my health at the time, so I wasn't exactly a tank, but I did value high health and a bit of shield. But then I saw someone use a low HP build. At the time, it was something using called the Primal Rage. Now, Here's the thing, I was a menace. They didn't want to be healed, but I healed anyways. I was more of a support kind. All I know is that when they had such little health, they dealt massive damage. They are always one shot despite having a shield. And let's just say I discovered how Dr. Teddy works, so long story short, Intercontinental Healing Missile! The wolf is also a unique deviation, the fact that it can taunt enemies. Don't worry, he doesn't bite. He kills. All you have to know is that these guys have two different levels. Their skill rating and their activity rating. Skill is how well they perform, activity is how fast they can recover their energy. And getting anything to the level 5, which is the max, is one thing. Getting it both 5s? Good luck, buddy. You wanted a lunar wolf that can only spawn during lunar? Yeah, sorry, buddy. So I used alone for the longest time. Distracted enemies, let's be honest, it's exactly what I needed. And is that a zap cam? The Zappy and the Doggle have served the very same function, but they carry them out differently. Lone Wolf attacks a target, and that's the only way to apply the damage multiplier. With the Zap cam, if I just aim an OTS, then let's just say it's free for all. Now, I have reached the point where my damage was decent. It wasn't exactly anything high, but I felt proud of myself. I don't even know by how much, but my damage is a lot higher than the average player, I guess. I wanted to take a less direct approach to the game. We were in a scenario called Eternal Dreamers, but I wanted to lay low. Enter Alice. Why did Alice start out in Eternal Dreamers? I have no idea. Here I find Eternal Dreamers, so who chose this scenario to build in a game where there's a lot of pew pew and boom with a bit of a yeah, she was new. So I took her in under my wing and taught her a couple things. She grew very fond of me. Long story short, when the Hive decided to jump servers, I was just gonna stay behind for a while. Alice did not want to leave me. Basically, it was the whole if you're not leaving, I'm not leaving. Now, I did not want her to feel like she had to stay behind, but at the same time, I wanted also to make sure she got like the learning because I felt like the others could probably help a lot. So I'm like, I'll jump over to the new scenario with them. And I had to teach her how. I had to create my own little squad and made her join. And long story short, we jumped over. The normal Manibus, supposed to be your second scenario after Manibus Novus, she decided to come into eternal suffering. We went to a chill Manibus scenario because at the time people just really wanted to chill for a bit. We had done like Way of Winter and then ED before it was revamped. And let me tell you, dear God, they were both terrible. Okay, ED not so much, but like I was wanted to lay low for the game. No hate against Eternal Dreamers. I honestly said I didn't really pay attention too much. I didn't even get the butterfly, but still kind of sad, but it's fine. We even based together while she was online. I wish I kept more footage of this because I was too lazy to make my own base. I let Victor here build my base, and it was home to the American oil factory. Oh my god, that was fun. I just had like 20 tar puddings working. It was great. Alice even adopted me as a little brother. Kind of funny, given how many other people have adopted me as some kind of brother or sister figure as well. So I have brothers, sisters, and apparently I have people that call me dad. Where are we now? Well, even though Alice has had her phone stolen so she can't play once human, uh, the Hive has evolved recently as well. Something different. We are becoming more community oriented, but we've never been better. We lost some people, we gained some people, a lot of people. We make good friends, which I'm going to be honest, this might be the lifelong gaming community that everyone dreams about. I'm showing off the current Hive City with my newest, most successful project, the Community Hub. Instead of waiting for people to build certain buff facilities, which No, one person can have it all, and just waiting for this person to get online because, oh god, time zones. Why not have everything with a shared storage in a central location where everyone can go donate and take whatever and whenever is needed? No need to wait for people anymore half the time. How about a community hub instead? This is probably the best idea I've ever had. And my ideas still suck. Even have a runway for planes to take off. Helps the ease of access for HiveMate, this specific HiveMate over here, who lives. Oh my god, is she Elsa? I have so many stories to tell. This game allows for a lot of that to happen. It is the reason a lot of this has happened. And this video, I'm going to be honest with you, it went everywhere and nowhere at the same time. It's just me rambling. I don't know why you're watching this. But, you know, if you want to stick around, I could teach you about all the neat little things of this game. Just a bit by bit. If you're just here for the funny stories, I got some of those as well. I got plenty to share, inside and out of the game. Well, with all that said, all I really want is that if you can leave with a smile on your face, I'm glad. I never really ask of anything, so if you did enjoy the video, I'm happy for you. Now do me a favor. Don't do anything stupid. At least, not without me.